Superman is now officially playing in theaters, and that is so exciting to finally be able to say because that means the DCU has begun. I mean, technically, you know, Creature Commandos was the official first project of the DCU, but this is our first big movie, our first live action project, officially canon, directed to and brought to you by James Gunn for the DCU. So that's very, very incredibly exciting. Of course, you can check out my non-spoiler review on the channel now. I'm watching the movie again today, the day you're seeing this video. So I'm going to be doing a spoiler review after I watch it for the second time. I just want a second viewing before I get into those spoilery thoughts. But I like the movie. It's a fun adventure, and I think a great start to the DCU for sure. And this is so exciting that now we're already at the point of now we can talk about expanding the DCU and where things will go in the future, particularly with HBO Max. Another thing I am so excited to finally be able to say again, because HBO Max changed its name to Max, and now it is finally back to HBO Max. Max was such a stupid name. I kept seeing the joke of, all right, Peacock, it's your turn, which was hilarious. But I'm glad HBO Max is back. And obviously, we already have some great content coming for the DCU on HBO Max, including Peacemaker Season 2 next month and the Green Lantern series next year. And there's, Booster Gold at some point. There's a lot of exciting stuff coming to HBO Max for the DCU. But what about some other new stuff, especially after seeing Superman? People are talking potential spin-offs. We know some sort of sequel is in development, not specifically a Superman sequel. James Gunn has said he's working on a sort of sequel to Superman. A lot of people are thinking maybe a World's Finest movie. That would be very exciting. We'll have to wait and see on that for the movie space. But on the TV side of things, could we get some spin-offs from Superman? And it looks like the answer is going to be potentially yes, because we have a brand new report coming at us from the Wall Street Journal, which I don't think I've ever done a video using them as a source. I don't feel like they usually scoop information like this about comic book movies, but here we are. They are reporting that two different characters from Superman are potentially getting spin-offs for HBO Max. Now, it's not said here that that these series are officially in development, just that DC Studios is strongly considering and looking at doing these two spin-off series. The first of which is going to be Jimmy Olsen. If you haven't seen the movie yet, you're probably not expecting this. I know I definitely wasn't before. But Jimmy Olsen is the MVP of Superman. Skylar Gisondo is fantastic casting. I love this guy. I've loved him in other work, and I love him as Jimmy Olsen. He has a surprisingly important role in the film, and he's great. And you may think, this is really random. This is really a stretch. He had his own comic run. Like, it was called Superman's Pal, The Adventures of Jimmy Olsen, or something like that. That is very well possible what they would just call this show. And I honestly think that will be kind of really fun. And like the story he has in this movie is just fun. It's just really, really fun and funny and entertaining. And I saw someone the other day when I was watching somebody else's review for the movie talking about Jimmy Olsen say, I would watch a whole HBO Max series about Jimmy Olsen and his adventures. And now it looks like that could be reality. And I'm so down for that. Like, it's such a simple world building project that's not going to be like a big world changing thing where you're going to be fighting a supervillain or anything. I doubt that's going to happen. But I think this also would be a great opportunity to showcase more of the talent of the Daily Planet, because one of my complaints about Superman is not that there were too many characters, it's just that there wasn't enough time to focus on all the characters. Like, we had a great cast of characters at the Daily Planet. I don't know if Lois Lane would necessarily be in this show. They might save her for the movies. But to give us more of our Perry White And Steve Lombard, Beck Bennett had like 4 lines in this movie, and they were all hilarious. I'd love to see more of him, more Cat Grant, more Ron Troop. That guy, I don't know if he even had any lines in this movie, but I remember like it was a casting report that Ron Troop from the comics is in the Superman movie, and then he didn't say anything. They could have a lot of fun with this. And I really wanted to see more Daily Planet scenes. This is our opportunity right here. See him out in the field taking photos for a story Lois is writing or Clark is writing or something. This could be really fun. And again, it's not like it's going to be essential viewing for the DCU or anything, but it's just a simple world building thing that I think would be really fun and a great addition to this lineup. And such a different, like obviously it would be a similar tone to Superman, but in a universe where every project's going to have a different tone. Like we're getting a Clayface horror movie. This I think would be really fun to just throw in there as well. Now, the other spin-off that's rumored from the Wall Street Journal, I want to keep saying the Wolf of Wall Street Journal, is one of the more obvious ones, and that is, of course, Mr. Terrific. Eddie Gathegi, another standout from the Superman film. Great character in the comics, great character in this film, a very funny character in the film, and a character that we've been saying completely like in the lead up to this film that this is a character deserving of his own project. That was before we even saw it. Now, after seeing it, I still agree this is a leading character potential. I was thinking, would they give him his own movie or his own show? And I do think a show will work better. And that's something that, again, I think is very, very exciting. I think if only one of these happens, this is the one that's probably more likely. Because I just think people would take it more seriously and maybe more people would watch it. I just really love that Jimmy Olsen idea. But Mr. Terrific, again, is a great character. And while he was a great character in the film and he had some great moments, we really didn't learn that much about him. So I would love to spend more time with this character and just get to know Mr. Terrific, Mike Holt. I think that would be really terrific. Get it? Also, speaking of Mr. Terrific, I would love for... I don't know if this would be a 1-season thing or if it would be a mini-series, but if it was a mini-series or even if it wasn't, I would love to see it lead into the Terrifics in the DCU, which as a team I first discovered when we first started getting these castings for the DCU Superman movie, because we already have half the team. We have Mr. Terrific and we have Metamorpho. Plastic Man is one of my favorite DC characters. I need him in the DCU. Give me a live action solo movie for Plastic Man starring Ben Schwartz. That would be amazing. Or even just have him on this team. Would be really great to give us the Terrifics. James Gunn, I believe, even said specifically that a lot of his inspiration for the character of Mr. Terrific and some of his favorite moments of Mr. Terrific in the comics come from the Terrifics run. So there were rumors, just fan speculation as well, that we could be getting the Terrifics in the DCU. Maybe this Mr. Terrific solo series would be leading that. I do want to soon buy the Terrifics comic off Amazon. I've been getting more into reading comics lately, and this is one that I'd be very excited to see because Plastic Man, Metamorpho, some of my favorite DC characters. Everything I've seen so far, Mr. Terrific is a great character. I don't know if they would introduce Phantom Girl or if they would replace her with another character like maybe Hawk Girl or somebody like that. We'd have to wait and see. But either way, this is very exciting. Superman, already a success. I'm excited to see more of that character in the future and what else, hopefully in a sequel and all of that. But also these great spin-off potentials. Series with Jimmy Olsen and Mr. Terrific. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about these? Again, I've never used Wall Street Journal before. I have to assume it's a pretty reliable source if they're putting this out there, and they just seem pretty highly regarded. So I don't know if this is a rumor or if this is valid information, but it's very exciting either way. And if we were to get other spin-offs from Superman, who would you want to see a show or a movie about? Maybe a Metamorpho movie, a Lex Luthor movie? Let me know in the comments below. So thank you so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so I can keep up to date on everything that goes on in the DC life.